How's everybody doing? Tinkering with Harleys. I want to thank all of you who have subscribed, and if you're watching these videos and enjoying them, by all means, please subscribe. Well, today we're on part 3 of that motor teardown, and we're going to show you some more stuff with what was wrong with that motor. We found the big cause of the low compression in the rear cylinder. The rings were upside down, but we also had low compression in the front cylinder. And the front cylinder was not nearly as bad. That was like at around 90, 91 pounds, which is considered acceptable. But that's if it's an older motor. You know, that's why I was so surprised when I started taking this motor apart because of the compression. I thought I was going to get a motor with 78,000 miles on it. And this thing has been rebuilt. So when I started taking everything apart, that's why I was so surprised. So we'll get on to it now. Now, what we have here with the front cylinder, if you look at the ring gap, here's the top ring right here, the compression ring, and there's the gap right there. Now you come down to the second compression ring, or seal ring, whatever you want to call it, and it's right there. These are too close together, and what's happening is the compression is, this is supposed to build up 140, 150 pounds worth of compression. And when you get all that compression in there, the air is always going to look for a place to escape. So when you have the ring gap this close together, it's going to move down past there. Now, the ring gap on this, they're in the wrong place. Depending on the make and model, this one should probably be facing in this direction toward the exhaust port. And this bottom one should be 180 degrees out over on the intake port. So that's why we had the loss of compression on the front cylinder. Now, it wasn't nearly as bad as what it was on the rear cylinder. But again, that's what surprised me when I started taking this motor apart. This thing should have had, with a new motor, 140 pounds worth of compression in each cylinder, and it didn't. This had about 89 to 90 on this one, and the back one had 64. So again, that's why I was so surprised. Okay, now if you've never done this before, or you're pulling your barrels off, the first thing you want to do is you want to put rags in here, in each cylinder. You don't want anything getting down into that lower end. And with these studs right here come up for the barrels and the heads, normally if I was going to be reusing these pistons and rings, I would have pieces of rubber hose on there to keep it from, being damaged moving back and forth. But I'm not going to reuse these pistons or these rings. So that's just a heads up. And the reason, especially if you're taking a piston off, right in here there is a little clip, and these clips are kind of a pain to take out, and sometimes they fly. The last place you want them to fly is down into here. And this is what the clips look like right there. This is from the other piston. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this clip out, and then we're going to pull this wrist pin out, and then we're going to pull the piston off. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be getting this clip out of here. I'm hoping the camera angle is okay, and because I don't want to block it. Now, this is the tool we use to get that out of there. It's a specialized tool. If you can see right here, there's a little notch. And you stick that tool in there like that. And you get that notch in there. And you grab hold of that clip, or try to. Sometimes it takes a couple of times. Sometimes you can't get them at all. Sometimes you got to do it the old-fashioned way, the way we did it back in the Stone Age, before there was specialized tools for everything. And these clips aren't in there correctly. The opening is on the bottom. It should be facing up to the top. We may have to swing the motor around, but we'll give this a shot since we already got everything right here. We're gonna have to swing the motor around. Okay, so now we'll try it from this side. And the one thing we want to do is cover that up right there, the lifters. So in case that pops out of there, you can get it. Yeah, we're just missing it. We might have to do this the old-fashioned way. So now we're going to go and do it the old-fashioned way. The way we did it 100 years ago. Because this one just doesn't want to come. Get underneath there. And that's why you cover everything up. Because when they pop out of there, they pop out. Now, when you get this clip out, you got to make sure you find it. If you can't find it, it may have gone down in there. So once you take it out, you need to find it and make sure, because that one flew on us, and we did find it, so it's not a big deal. Now there's a clip exactly the same way on the other side. You only need to take one clip off to remove these pistons. And now we're going to put the wrist pin puller in there and show you how to do that. Okay, now this is the wrist pin puller. And it's hollow inside, and here's one of the other wrist pin. It slips right in there like that. You can install with these also. So what you do with this is you put it up against there like that. And you insert the rod through there till it comes out the other side. And we're not out the other side yet. And you want to oil these up before you use them. And we need a little bit more. Mugzo, what's the matter, buddy? There we go. Now this washer goes on first, and it locks in there. And then you've got a nut that goes on to that. And that, as long as it clears the clip, you center everything, and then you just start winding it in like this. You make sure everything is lined up like that. And then you just start to turn it. Just like that. And it's coming right out. I can see it on the other side. You can probably see, if my big hand isn't in the way, this thing's starting to pull out. And like I said, if I was doing this, if I was going to be reusing these pistons and rings, there would be rubber grommets on here, on all the studs. And if you look here, you can see it's pulling out very nicely. No resistance whatsoever. It just kind of slips out of there. This makes it a little bit easier. And we're almost out. And I believe it's out of the rod. Oh, not yet. It's still in there just a bit. Yep, and there it is. It's out of the rod. And that's what it looks like. And let's see. Yeah, these pistons are brand new. What a shame. And this is what your rods look like. Right here, and there's a bushing in there in each of the rods. But that's how you take the piston off and get the wrist pins out. So I think that's going to do it for today. Hope this helps somebody. And thank you all for watching. And until the next time, everybody be safe out there.